Well, welcome back to another video. It's the first weekend in May and thank God it's a bank holiday. It gives me 2 days to get this job well started anyway, because I was at work yesterday, so that was a write-off. So the task for the next 2 days is to do something with this area here. We've talked about this for years, of doing something with it. We're still not sure what we're going to do with it, but it needs sorting out. As you can see, the trees are all coming down. They've been coming down for years, and they finally took the fence out with them. It snapped about 3 or 4 posts, so that's trashed. The little dogs keep getting out, so we're going to have to do something with it. So what we've decided to do is, first of all, just get all these trees down, because I don't know if you can hear now in the wind, they're starting to lean on the pagoda that we've got over there, and it's just going to end up bringing everything down. So what we've decided to do, we think the new fence that we've just put up worked really well, so we're just going to replicate it in this area. So the first job is to get all these trees cut down first to see what we're dealing with, because I can't get in behind them because they're all over the place. So I'm just going to chop them all down, get them down to the fence level, and then see what I'm working with. But luckily I'll have plenty of time to get on with it, because this area that we're stood in now is what we use in the winter for the turnout for the pony. So he's out in the field now permanent for the next few months, so I'm not worried about him coming out and getting in the garden or anything like that. So it gives me at least a bit of time to work on it. But like I say, today's job is just to get them all down, get them cleared up, and then see what we're looking at. What are we doing? Well, that's the easy bit done. As you can see by the fence, out of 8 posts, 5 of them are snapped. So it's all over the place. So we've done the right thing, I hope. Anyway, now we're left with the hard task of getting the bloody roots out of the ground. I started earlier on that one, like I said, and it's rooted right in. So we're going to have to bring out the big guns. So we're going to get Tracy struck in the garden, hook it up to some rope, and see how we get on like that. Right. The only reason I'm trying this is because one of the roots is pretty loose, so rather than me try and dig it out and manhandle it out, I'm just going to try it this way first. The other ones are solid in, so I'll have to dig them around the roots first. But we'll give this one a go. If it works, great. If it goes through the back of Tracy's window, then we might have to try something else. Well, it was half a success anyway. We managed to get this one pulled mostly out of the ground, so all I'll do is I'll just dig around that and just chainsaw it off under the ground. The other one, it moved a little bit, but they're just too far rooted in, so I'll just have to dig around as much as I can and then either chainsaw them off or hook them up to the car again once I've got a load of earth off them and try it that way. But for now, well, I suppose we'll get to digging. Well, this is where we're at for tonight. Anyway, the hardest part of it was moving all this bloody mess. So we've got all that done. We've got one of the big roots out thanks to Tracy's car, but I don't think it's going to touch the rest. Like I said, I'm going to have to dig them out. But we're not starting that tonight, so I think we'll reconvene in the morning for a heavy job on them. But for now, let's go and get a drink.
Well, I needed to nip and get some animal feed this morning, so I took my car that we tried to use yesterday to get some of the tree stumps out and grabbed a load of feed, came back. Steve said, oh, I'm going to make a start on those tree roots while you are out. And then when I came back, he was sat in one of these chairs and I said, what are you doing? He sat there doing nothing and then realised, look.
Right, well, like Tracy said, when she went out, I thought I'd make a start. I was too impatient to wait for her, so I got Stephen Jr. and my car to give us a hand, and we've managed to get 5 out anyway, but now I've got 1 left, but I've bust my shoulder, so I don't know if I'm going to attempt it, but that one is stuck solid. I've already tried to have a bit of a rake around about it, but I'm going to have to dig around it, probably about 5 foot around it to get the roots, I think, to get that one. But like I say, I don't know whether I'm going to tackle it now, because my shoulder's busted, but I don't really want to leave it in, so we'll see how we get on. I would ask Jack to help to give us a hand, but unfortunately yesterday or the day before, I can't remember which one it was, he's fell over down the field and busted his ankle, so we might have to take him to the hospital today. So the injuries are coming on thick and fast, but shit needs to get done.
Say that.
Right.
Gotta be careful. Well, out of all of them, this was the most alive, so to speak, wasn't it? Because the problem was they were dying or dead, and I think this was the one that was probably the most alive out of all of them. So it's going to be the hardest to get out. Oh, what's that?
We'll get it.
What's that? Is it treasure?
It exploded World War II. Mortar shell.
I say that, and treasure, and you say that.
It's
a bubble thing. Kids bubbles, nice. Hey, if we could find some treasure.
Yeah, I'll pay somebody else to do this.
You wouldn't. Would you do that? We'll pay our mortgage off, then we can do this all day, every day, Stephen.
Oh, yeah. Go back to work for a rest.
I did tell Stephen to not do this, by the way, guys, even though he's hurt his shoulder, but being Stephen, not allowed to be ill. Should we go and get Annie?
Put a biscuit down there.
Yeah.
See, once you uncover the root, you dig around and then we chop it in half. That might be enough to
release it enough to get it out. Yeah.
And then get the car on it and maybe drag it a bit. But this one's a bit raw.
Looks a little bit rotten, is it?
No. That's a big root, that.
That'll be why there's that thingy in the concrete path.
Won't be happy with that one,
Oh.
Right. Whew.
Do you really want to do this with your shoulder?
Not really. Come on!
Is it stuck in?
Pull me in. Right, well, I found 3 or 4 connecting roots, chopped through them. So now I'm just going to give it a little eke with the car to see if it gets a bit of movement on it. Ideally, I want to pull it that way, but I haven't got enough rope to get it through onto the field, so we'll just have to do it this way and see what happens.
I have offered to do it. But you wouldn't let me, would you?
No.
I think he's having too much fun, if I'm honest with you. Right, I'm going to step back. I don't want to face full. Getting the bloody fence with it. How sensible of him. Who is this man?
Well, that didn't work, so back to Stephen Jr. Can get a bit more earth moved.
I feel as though it's literally that bit that's not covered.
Well,
Sorry, that's uncovered. Covered even, you know what I'm trying to say.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Take that off for now. Oh, bloody sort under here. Oh. Right. Just need to find that other connecting route here somewhere.
To be fair, if I was the tree, I wouldn't want to give up too easy either.
See if we can see where it's moving. See, it's not going that way.
No, it's not at all,
Wants
is
to be
it?
pulled this way.
Typical.
Really.
Can't get the car in there. Getting there. Putting the bloody fence down. Watch yourself. Jesus, it's rocking the car.
Oh, it's nearly there, Turkish.
You're like a flippin' man possessed. Careful you don't fall on your bottom.
Oh, come on.
Are you okay?
Yes. Ah,
No, really, are you okay?
yeah.
Oh, bless it.
Got it.
Now please have a rest.
Oh, right. Taking the rest of the day off. Yeah. Right, well that's all that cleared. I said I wasn't going to do it today, but I couldn't sit and look at it like that. So I've got all the nettle roots and everything out. I've got as much rubble as I'm going to get into a couple of piles. That'll all get bagged up and took to the tip. The only thing I'm doing now is I'm just going to measure up for a new fence so I can get all the timber one day after work. And I'm going to go and sit down, work out how much it's going to need and how much it's going to cost. But that is it for today for any physical work anyway. I'm pleased with the result. Looks good. Is the boss happy?
I don't know. Have you asked her? Oh, me. Looks brilliant. A really
Right.
good job.
Let's get the measure.
First taste of the garden for the pigs. Straight into it, actually. That's good.
Well, they're loving that Swiss chard, and we're supposed to be down to 0 degrees tonight, so we're going to go and get another big bag of straw and just top the house up for them so they're nice and cosy tonight. But loving the organic food. And your son.
I thought you were going to say someone's got to like Swiss chard. I love it. We've got some nuts for Dexter.
Also making progress, albeit a lot slower with Dexter.
Hmm.
Well, it's red. And I suppose light red. Might charge you.
You're not a matador.
What a good lad. Oh, he's loving his pellets. Good lad.
So Dexter hadn't had any kind of compound feed or anything before we brought him here, and ideally we don't want to use compound feed, we just want the grass and the hay to be sufficient. But the point of us giving him is, it's not to kind of try and sustain him from a feed point of view, it's to get him to do what he's doing there and to learn that feeding from our hands he gets tasty things, so in the future he can follow the bucket basically. So we're trying to make slow progress every day, every few days. Well, we're in here every day with him, twice a day regardless, but progress in terms of we might only see every few days a little bit of progress. So for example, we haven't tried to stroke him. Well, we have, and it hasn't worked while he's been eating. So we need to get him confident that actually you can eat around and near us, and that our hand will be near him and he doesn't need to worry that we're going to try and touch him or anything. So the next thing is getting him to eat the pellets out of our hand and not just kind of the apple treats and things, and eventually be able to stroke him. And eventually be able to stroke him, and for him to realise that we're not going to hurt him. I don't think he thinks we're going to hurt him. He's just not sure. He's just not totally sure yet. So, goodness me, it's only been like that.
My leg.
Yeah, just like that. So it's only been a couple of weeks, and he's still nervy. He hasn't got his cow friends with him to kind of rely on and to show him the way. So speaking of that, the plan is, we were going to do it today, but we had a unexpected hospital visit, so the plan is to put him and the pony together. Realistically it's probably going to be the weekend now, because Stephen and I are back to the paid job. Obviously it's bank holiday Monday, Stephen and I are back to the paid job Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we want to be here for the day when we do it. So Saturday I think we'll plan, it'll be the first day that the pony and Dexter are in the field together, and then he might follow the pony, who follows the bucket. He'll do anything for food and he's quite happily leading around, etc. So I think we'll start to see some good progress, or even more progress, because we've got good progress so far, but even more progress once he's in the field with the pony as well. But this is leaps and bounds from where he ran off the trailer that day, isn't it? This is fantastic.
Never thought we were going to get him back.
Yeah. You enjoying the sun, Miss Carol? Are you coming for your breakfast, mister? Well, your breakfast, your bribes, huh? I've got another bucket as well, which you're not sure of. There you go, son. What's this? Are you alright in there? Yeah, I'm just going to do it with you. Not this morning? Have you been good in the frost? Well, hopefully you can hear me. In fact, if not, let me turn that off. I'm just watering the greenhouse. It had a good soaking last night and it hasn't been quite as hot today, so it doesn't need too much, but I forgot to do the blueberry plants. Ideally they would need rainwater, but I haven't got any. So tap water it is, and I'm just going to water the carrots and the other seeds that are out here. But my point of coming on to tell you is Stephen and I are just home from work, hence changed straight outside, get on with all the things. And what we're going to do tonight is actually we're going to manage to get the lambs outside. They are still in the pen in the barn, which is where they've been since we picked them up, and we had the vet come out last night for nothing bad, hopefully anyway, to preventatively treat them for something that we believe we may have lost lambs to in the past, although we've never had post-mortems or anything done, so it's never been completely confirmed. But it was a good guess from the vets that we've lost lambs to something called cocci. I can't pronounce the proper coccidiosis, is that how you say it? Anyway, so we're preventatively treating, quite a lot of people do. It's not expensive, it's nothing nasty or anything like that, it's just a paste that they put in the mouth. But also when I rang up to get the medication, they said, we haven't been out to check your smallholding for a while, can we come out and do an animal welfare check and whatever else they want to call it. So yeah, absolutely, of course you can, but you're going to charge me for the pleasure, no doubt. So we look forward to that, Bill. But anyway, they came out last night, had a good chat with him and said, when do you think we can put them out? She said, get them out tomorrow night straight away. So that's what we're going to get on with. Talked about when to worm them and etc. based on what we've done previously. And happy to confirm that what we've done previously has worked just fine, and just to continue with what we do and what with the experience that we've got. So really good to hear that. We're going to get those out next, but also what I'm going to do is, for the first time, I'm going to try the pony in the paddock with Dexter, just for an hour whilst we're kind of out and about and easy to watch, etc. Then we'll bring the pony in for his evening meal and for staying in the barn overnight, just because he's not been staying out for kind of 24/7. He seems to get bored. But if he's out with Dexter and they're both comfortable with each other, then once we're past the next frost that we're due, which is in another night or two, we're down to 2 again, which is just crazy. Affects all sorts of things. Not the cockerel though, clearly. Once we are past that, then the pony will be able to live out if he and Dexter get on well enough and are happy in each other's company, and therefore he doesn't sort of stand at the gate and try and wait to come in, and then hopefully that'll be him out for the summer. We'll still supplement with the feeding things in the field. So that's the 2 important things from an animal point of view that we're getting done tonight. I'm also going to be cooking some, it's called Victorian BBQ rhubarb sauce, something like that. Can't remember the actual name for it. I've made it before, and I told you guys before that we weren't too keen on it. So why are you making it again? Because what I'm going to do this time is blitz it so that it's a smooth sauce, and I'm hoping it's going to be more like a pouring sauce. My son loves barbecue sauce. Hang on 2 secs. My arm was aching so much doing that. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah, so he loves barbecue sauce, but not kind of the chunky texture that we did it last time. So I'm going to blitz it in a blender, and then I think it's water bathing opposed to pressure canning. So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm not sure if I've got all the ingredients. If not, I'm going to nip out and get them, because I really want to get this done and start getting things on the shelf, because we're getting into a season of putting more things on the shelf ready for the winter. And we can see from the rhubarb in the distance just there, absolutely tons of the stuff. So let's make some good use of it. So that's my priority tonight. And Stephen, poor lad, is going to continue with painting the fence. Fence is on the brain. Painting the house. Probably not the best start. He doesn't like the hose pipe. Sonic's been on that side of the electric fence, so they've been in each other's company for ages. So in theory, well, let's wait and see before I say any more. Well, Dexter's laying down, which is good, but every time he lifts his head up, Sonic's kind of looking. So when he does get up, if he does, I'll only put him out together for half an hour or an hour or so, but when he does get up, that'll be when Sonic takes an interest. But to be honest, we expect them to kind of keep each other's distance, don't they, based on how they've been. So now we're going to go and start what Stephen's job of the night is.
More paint.
You can see what a difference it makes having taken all of these trees out. The plan is, by the way, that we will be putting a fence there, but we needed to clear the trees before we can get on with that. And Stephen, obviously in his wisdom, said that the house needed painting at this side because that's the worst one, but as you can see how patchy it is from one coat. Hello you, are you okay Mr. Rodney? How's your happy new haircut? So this is what it's looking like after the first coat last night. You can see, step over the ladders, see the different patchy areas. That's why I've got the carpet down. I think I showed you that last night. So he's going to get on and do, I think he's doing another coat of the whole thing today. I mean, there's the whole side of the house to do as well, but he'll get to it, I'm sure. So the plan is, we can see the pony and Dexter from here. I'm going to spot the ladder, hold the ladder for Stephen. Grace is on her way home, so when she gets home we'll start getting the lambs out. I'll probably get Sonic in before that, should all work out time wise, and then I'll get on with what I need to get done in the kitchen later on. Half an hour and I don't think either of them have moved. Can you just watch that gate? Mm-hmm. Carol's coming.
She's trying to drink.
Oh,
That's not your mum. She loves the baby usually. Oi, oi.
I don't know if I got that. I'm not sure.
Be nice.
Didn't get it again, I don't think.
Carol. She's like, I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
It's alright, lambs.
Can you calm down now? She stomped at it. Well, obviously the idea is, as you can tell, to have them out with our two pet sheep ewes. Although neither of these actually have had lambs, have they, Grace? So yeah, so these they're just going to live in the field with these. We'll probably take them back in tonight, maybe leave them out for a few hours now, and then just eventually they'll just be out full time. It's quite late in the sort of the day really now. Just turn around, watch what she's doing. It's quite late in the day to leave them out unsupervised now. We'd prefer to do that from a morning so that we can watch them all day, make sure that everybody's okay, that they're not going to escape anywhere or get anywhere that they shouldn't. So really tonight's just to test for a few hours, see how everybody gets on, but then they will go out full time. That's the plan anyway. So Nettle, our old girl here on the screen, she is rather heavy when she gets her fleece off, which is actually going to be Saturday. So the next video probably that you guys will see, or one of the next videos anyway, you'll see there's a big difference on her when she loses that. So both of them are going to be sheared Saturday. A friend of ours is coming to do that very kindly. So we'll see a big difference, and hopefully the heat that's due over the next few days after that won't be too bad. But she can be quite grumpy, although Carol's hopefully playing more. Right on cue. She's enjoying herself. I just don't want her to be too rough, but I'm sure everyone will find the pecking order. But Nettle can be quite rough. She can throw a good headbutt when she wants to, so just going to keep an eye on them while these guys find the feet. Oh, oh, oh! I thought there was going to be a knocking out session then, a headbutt.
There's sass on it.
She thinks she's a lamb still, doesn't she?
Go, Carol. Come on,
A bit out of breath, Grace.
Go, Carol. Come on. Over here.
Nettle's sitting this one out.
Come on.
Oh.
That's not your mum.
Steady, steady eddies. Everybody, don't knock each other out, please.
Still got a little ball. Do you like this time of year, Carol? Do you like it?
I tell you what, she's going to sleep tonight. Well, I've got my kombucha, I've got my chopped up rhubarb, I've got my recipe, and our evening meal is nearly done, so we will be getting to that, and then I'm going to get on with this this Victorian barbecue sauce. But I wanted to say, just in case anyone's never done it before, Yorkshire puddings, they don't look fantastic in there. They are frozen, so I made a big batch of them and shoved them literally straight in the freezer. What were they called? Simple Live in Alaska did this the other week. Popovers? Is that what they called them? Anyway, we call them Yorkshire puddings. They freeze fantastically, and we can't have a roast, which is what we're having today, without Yorkshire puddings. Well, we can. We've had it for about a year without Yorkshire puddings. And I said I'll get some done for the kids the other week, and threw some in the freezer. So I'm going to add those as well, and then I'm going to crack on with this Victorian barbecue sauce with a kilo of rhubarb. Now you're probably going to hear the lambs in the background because Grace has just gone back outside to feed the cow and the pigs for me, but this is what I'm getting on with. We have got in there rhubarb, brown sugar, raisins, onion, vinegar, ground allspice, ground cinnamon, ground ginger, and some salt, and that's going on the Aga right now. Now I'm going to give it a mix. The rhubarb is on the bottom. There's no other liquid in here except for the vinegar that you've just seen me put in, so it'll be interesting to see how it gets on. The sugar will create a syrupy mix, I'm guessing, and I'm presuming liquid within the rhubarb. If it's not thin enough, I'll probably just add either a bit more vinegar or a drop of water, maybe. We shall see. I kid you not, no time at all of this liquid's being produced, and that's from some of the rhubarb and the sugar, and obviously that little bit of vinegar, which was just half a cup. So I'm going to bring this to the boil, and then I'm just going to leave it simmer until it thickens up a bit. As I said, this time I'm going to blend it, which I didn't do last time, which is why I also haven't chopped the raisins up. So it does say to chop the raisins up. I haven't done that, being lazy this time, but that's because I'm going to blend it at the end. Well, there's the barbecue sauce, and the proof of the pudding is in the tasting, as they say, or something like that anyway. So we will test this out on the teenagers and report back in one of the next videos. If it goes down well, then we'll be making plenty more. Well, to be fair, I'll probably make plenty more just to force people to eat it anyway.
Well, that's another job finished. I'm glad it's done by the end of the week, because I've got a big job on at the weekend. Took 3 coats, thought it was only going to take 1. Like everything around here normally takes longer than it should. So now I've just got the rest of the house to do, but not today, so we'll see you on the next video.